In 1974, then Senator Mondale observed that he had devoted more of his time in the Senate to the problems of children than to any other area, saying, "I have visited migrant labor camps, Indian reservations, and depressed rural areas. I have learned that there are many subtle ways to mutilate the spirit of a child by depriving him of her adequate nutrition, health care, or of a good education." Senator Mondale believed that the ability and potential of our youth is indeed America's greatest resource. Convinced of the need for a comprehensive strategy, he spearheaded innovative and progressive legislation to address issues of education, housing, health, and opportunity. The recipient of this evening's first award, Melvin Carter III, demonstrates this same level of passion as he tirelessly advocates for the rights of children. As a St. Paul City Council person, he helped to launch the Promise Neighborhood, a partnership between city, county, school, and grassroots leaders to support high-quality educational outcomes for all children. Motivated to enter politics after his brother was turned away from a Florida polling precinct, Mr. Carter has also worked to expand equal access and opportunity for all citizens, helping to connect light rail to underserved neighborhoods, build more affordable housing, and create the City of St. Paul's Department of Human Rights and Equal Opportunity. He's currently the Executive Director of the Minnesota Children's Cabinet, which is focused on coordinating public investments in Minnesota's youngest learners. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Melvin Carter III, 2011 Humphrey School graduate and recipient of the Public Leadership Award.
Good evening. Thank you so much, President Kaler, Dean Schwartz, Vice President Mondale. This is a huge honor for me. This really is. You know, there's a story I love about a New Orleans man who wakes up and dies and wakes up in heaven. St. Peter hands him a microphone and says, "You tell one story about your life, and if you impress the crowd, you stay." The man says, "That's easy. I'll tell the story about the great flood after Hurricane Katrina." St. Peter says, "Well, okay, but, remember Noah's in the crowd." So that's kind of how I feel today, honestly. Accepting this award in the presence of such amazing leaders as those who are in this room, looking at the list of prior honorees, looking at this year's cohort, looking at our phenomenal senators, Klobuchar and Franken, who do phenomenal work on behalf of Minnesota and Washington, D.C., and especially at one of my personal heroes in Vice President Mondale, who over 40 years ago won so much of what we're fighting for now, only to see his bill vetoed by President Nixon. It's kind of hard to feel like you belong in that group. If I do belong, I have to share with you, it's a story. My story is really more of a story of the phenomenal leaders that I have all around me, those who serve as role models and really keep me grounded and also lighten my load at every turn. I want to share with you some of those folks who are in the room today. I'm really blessed to be joined by my own parents, Tony and Melvin Carter. Who it sounds like you may know have set an incredibly high bar for public leadership themselves. I'm joined by my big girls, Melena and Naomi, tonight, my sweeties. They teach me every day what it means to need someone else's well-being more than my own. My passion and understanding for early childhood really comes straight from all the joys and stresses of parenting, from wondering which schools and doctors I can trust to that depressing working family napkin math that determines how good a parent I can afford to be. Families across our state and country wake up to that same stress every day, and I'm really proud to work for a leader in Governor Mark Dayton who is strongly convinced they shouldn't have to. So you have to stop clapping because they told me I only have 3 minutes. Finally, I really want to thank Dean Schwartz, the planning committee, and the entire Humphrey School for your and family for your support. You know, I was at the Humphrey School, and I wasn't one of those students who sails through a master's degree in 2 straight years. From starting a family to raising my children to working on campaigns to running for office myself, I had a lot to do outside of class that both extended my stay and showed what a supportive family the Humphrey School can be. Without the guidance and help of my advisor, Dr. Sam Myers, I might still be in the computer lab working on odds ratios. In my professional life, I've leaned on Humphrey alumni like Akua Ellis and Noel Nix, who were my aides in City Hall, Kelly Monson, whose passion and ideas helped drive this children's cabinet today, Paul Williams, former deputy mayor for Paul. They're turning off my mic. I must be out of time. To you all, I really say a heartfelt thank you. You know, receiving this award really is a humbling honor. We'll keep it at my house, but I accept it on behalf of all of us. Thank you.